They appear to be somewhat silent.
I wasn't playing with them.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there, welcome to the Flushing Bloke VidiProg podcast thing. Today, I'm going to be telling you all about Marvel.
I've never heard of it.
Have you not? Oh, pretty sure it used to be some fascinating powdered milk. Could be wrong. Anyway, yes. Now, it's book time. And for some reason, my Xbox has just turned on by itself again.
That's because you're holding up the X-Men.
That's uncanny. Oh, we're off to a great start. Yes, so this is the X-Men from Hachette Press, Marvel's Mightiest Heroes range. Okay, in this we have the initial story. Yes? Sorry? What? You're leaning in full of attention. Why? Oh, okay. And in the first story, they're already together. They're already at the school. And okay, there's going to be a reason for this. What's the matter?
Nothing. Carry on.
No, I'm not going to. We're going to find out what Mr. Chris has been up to instead.
Oh, okay. That bloody cat.
Cat?
Yeah, I haven't made it yet.
Oh, okay. We're getting a bit silly. This is the third show we've recorded on the trot. So the first comic book, which is reprinted here, is them all together, already at the school. A far later story, in real life, is how they all came together in the first place. Xavier finds them. There's a hint of Magneto, and we find out how they're trying to cope as mutants in a world that hates and fears them. This is good. This is a good story. It sets up the X-Men really, really well. Yeah, I'm not going to go too long on this because I want to talk about a few others in a bit more depth. Next up, Irn-Bru.
Man of Iron.
Yes, it's Iron Man. Okay, in this one, again, you get the origin story. The original origin story, not the revamped one, which was similar
Terrorists?
to... no.
Oh.
Communists.
Oh.
Same sort of thing, trapped in a cave, and, you know, he has to create a silver suit of, well, a steel suit of armour. But after
Does
that...
he actually have the shrapnel in his body?
Yeah.
That's all... Right, okay.
Yeah, because the initial repulsor thing is to keep the shrapnel away from his heart. And it was like that for years, dear me. And then you have the rather wonderful story, which doesn't actually say what it is, but it's Iron Man Volumes 5, numbers 1 to 7, where he takes on Ezekiel Stane. If you remember first Iron Man film, Obadiah Stane, his partner. Well, this is Stane's son, Ezekiel. And there's bits taken from this, which have turned up in Iron Man 3. And also, you'll find out that the extremist thing got taken for Iron Man 3 as well. This is really good. This is Iron Man finding out, or Tony Stark finding out, that actually there is a chance that he's not quite up to scratch for things, and his stuff is all not brilliant, you know? People are getting their fingers on it, so he needs to crack down on that and take it back. Really good artwork. It's hard to see with the light. Sorry.
It's nice.
Yeah. It's again a very good story. This is set after. I should have actually placed this afterwards. This is set after Avengers Disassembled and possibly after the Civil War. In fact, it is after the Civil War because Thor ain't talking to him.
Oh.
So, but it's a very good example of a proper Iron Man story with the whole Tony Stark Iron Man duality at play, and how both sides of his life can run a story. Really well done. I enjoy this. Okay, way back when, we're going to start the story here. The Avengers, everything's going fine with the Avengers, and then the Scarlet Witch goes nuts. And during a story called Disassembled, which is in the Ultimate Graphic Novels collection, the black ones of Hachette Press, she kills a couple of Avengers, and the Avengers just fall apart. You know, they just can't keep going. A few months later, there's a big breakout at a prison called the Raft, and a load of heroes come together to stop this breakout, including Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Luke Cage. Daredevil wants nothing to do with the Avengers. However, Cap says, let's put a team back together again. And they also go and get Wolverine, because they need someone who can be a bit nasty. The world has changed, basically. In the Raft is also, the reason Daredevil was there, and he's Matt Murdock, guys, as a defense attorney, is a superhero called the Sentry that no one can remember. And we can't work out why no one can remember who the Sentry is. But he's there, in the prison. In fact, it seems he's wanted to be put there. It's very strange. Anyway, a little bit later on, they're trying to work out what to do with the Scarlet Witch because she's so powerful and she's also obviously very ill, mentally ill. The X-Men and the Avengers to get together, and it's a case of, well, much as we don't like it, we're going to have to go and kill her. She's too dangerous. Yep, too dangerous to be left alive. So they nip off to Genosha, where she is with, which is a devastated island, where she is with her father, Magneto, as well as her brother, Pietro, the Quicksilver. You'll see Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch in the new Avengers movie. You've probably also seen Quicksilver in X-Men Days of Future Present, or Days of Future Past, whatever it was. Unfortunately, Pietro's not having this. He's not going to have his sister killed. So he gets her to create a complete false timeline, if you like, false reality, where mutants reign supreme. His father's basically rules the world, and everything's cool and dandy. All the heroes get what they want. You know, it's all cool for them. They're happy. Except for Captain America, who unfortunately never got the super soldier program stuff, and it's just an old man. However, a little girl's going around, and she manages to make people remember, which for poor Spider-Man is a really bad thing because he's married to the wrong woman and he's got a kid. And now he's realizing that the reality is he's married to a different woman and he has no children, and he doesn't take it too well. So they go to try and stop this going on, thinking it's Magneto. It's not Magneto, it's Pietro, the Quicksilver, and Doctor Strange manages to talk to Wanda, and she gives up and just says, no more mutants. And it's a curse. And as a result, all but 100 and some odd mutants keep their powers. Or lose their powers, should I say.
Why those 100 and something? Why are they different?
But one of them is her brother, Pietro, who loses his powers.
Uh-huh. Right.
Son of M. This is the story of Pietro trying to come to terms with not having any powers, failing, and deciding to use the Inhumans' Terrigen Mists to give him his powers back. The Inhumans are a bunch of humans taken away by the Kree, space alien people, and experimented on using the Terrigen Mist, thus giving them extra powers. Okay. Pietro thinks that Terrigen Mists can restore mutants. Well, they can and they can't. And it doesn't end well. Another very good book, beautiful artwork. Okay, coming to the end of this little run. Siege. All right, we've had the Civil War. where the heroes are against each other. We've spoken about this in former podcasts. We've had Secret Invasion, where the Skrulls have taken over. Tony Stark's been completely discredited as their leader. As the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D's closed down. Norman Osborn, big bad Green Goblin, boogly boogly boogly. He's put in charge. And I actually explained this in far more depth on the show we recorded last time, but I don't want to bore you. And unfortunately, Norman's a bit nutty. Norman's Avengers are basically villains dressed up as Avengers, as other heroes. Loki's having a word in his ear all the time, leading to the point where Norman decides, actually, I'm going to invade Asgard. As you do.
As you do. Why not? Go for it.
This is the story of that. Where basically Norman Osborn, under false pretenses, invades Asgard, and the heroes who are all basically running, undercover, trying to keep one step ahead of the game, decide enough's enough, we're going to make our stand. Which is all well and good, but the trouble is, Norman's got a few things on his side. First of all, he's got the Hood and his men. The Hood's a bad guy, he's a villain, he's a gangster, and he's basically managed to unite a load of supervillains under his control. He's got a deal with Norman, and as a result, he turns up to help Norman fight at Asgard. Not good. Norman's also got the Sentry, who we mentioned earlier. See, the thing about the Sentry is that he's nuts.
Okay.
Reason no one remembered him in
the prison
is because he'd actually made them forget. He made the whole
why?
world forget. Now we have to read that and find out. Unfortunately, see, the thing is, with the Sentry, for every good act he does, because of mental disability, he has to do a bad act as well, and he blames the bad act on a creature called the Void, which is still him.
Schizophrenic, then?
Yeah, basically. Norman manages to keep him going simply by being nice to him and listening and whatever, which no one's actually done. As a result, the Sentry becomes Norman's attack dog. Hence this.
Someone's intestines exploding from their body.
Gods die. Sentry can kill gods. I'm not going to tell you which god gets killed. Suffice to say, Asgard doesn't really survive very well. However, the heroes do win eventually. Norman is unmasked as the Green Goblin. Again, they suddenly realise, oh, he's gone fruity. And this launches into the heroic age, which is almost where we are now. We're now actually in Marvel now, I think. Oh, I don't know. I can't keep track. They keep doing things. Siege, good story. It's the end of Bendis's huge arc going back for years, going from Disassembled through to House of M, through to Civil War, through to Secret Invasion, through to this. There's other stuff as well, like Invaders versus Avengers, or Avengers versus Invaders, where they bring back Toro, the original Human Torch's companion. Anyway, we're going to move on. Black Widow. I'm going to just talk about this quickly. Origin story. Well, it's not really an origin story. It's her first appearance. Another appearance with Spider-Man, where she gets her classic look. And Tango.
Hello, Tango.
That'll make Scott Fuller laugh. Very, very good. If you want to find out more about the Black Widow from the Avengers films, read this.
I would like to know why she's firing a gun over her shoulder.
Yeah, we discussed this.
I know, but they won't have seen that.
No, they won't. Next up, this is a good one. It's the last one. The Human Torch. Not from the Fantastic Four, the original Human Torch, the android. If you watch the Captain America film, the first one, the first Avenger, you'll see as he and Bucky, James Bucky Barnes, go to the World Fair or whatever it is, and they take those two girls. You see them walk past a glass tube with a figure in it. Professor Horton's amazing flaming man. It's the Human Torch.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first of Marvel's heroes, except back then they weren't called Marvel. This is in the 30s. They were called Timely Comics. And the Human Torch appeared in Marvel Comics, which was just one issue, a thing called Marvel Comics, produced by Timely. He came back a couple of times, but for some reason the interest never really got shown. This brings him firmly back into mainstream Marvel. Along with Toro, who in Avengers vs. Invaders gets brought back to life. He's a mutant who can also burst into flame and whatever. And this basically shows the Human Torch sorting out the Thinker who originally killed him. And a few problems. This is a lovely book. It harkens back to the nostalgia of the earlier comic books, but it's still a very modern book. Beautiful artwork. Again, as always, with all of these, they are superbly chosen to do what they say on the tin. You know, you get a book like The Human Torch, it tells you about the Human Torch. You know, you're not just going to come in and think, what the hell's going on? This will explain it to you. This will put the whole thing in context. Whoever is responsible, and I think it's actually Panini in the UK, Marvel UK, basically. The guys there, is it Brad or Brady or Scott? And, hang on a second. Where is it? Oh, I don't know. I've got his card here somewhere, which I need to email him. Hi there. Not bunnies. Yes, they're the guys responsible for choosing which stories go in these books, and they're making a fantastic job of it.
Cool.
Again, Hachette Press, go and find Marvel's Mightiest Heroes and the Ultimate Graphic Novels Collection. I'm sure you can buy back issues of them, and you can choose where to start your subscription from. There we go, that's it. I'm sorry to have ranted for so long, but trust me, in this show, it was actually a lot quicker. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Toodles.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.